The Sun is widely considered the most happy and positive card in the tarot deck. Throughout time, the Sun has been worshipped with various names, including Ra, Sol, Helios, Surya, and more. It is the brightest of the celestial triumphs and has an esoteric meaning of power. Hello, I'm Michael J. Auger, creator of the Allcento Tarot, and today let's shine a light on the 19th card of the Tarot's major arcana. When the Tarot is viewed in repeating patterns of 10, this 19th card is the second cycle of 9. Similar to the 9th card that represents the power of hindsight, this 19th card echoes the idea of power, but on a grander scale. The Sun is, without question, a symbol of immense power and importance. Life on Earth is only possible because of its existence and perfect distance from us. It is considered the closest connection to the divine within the human experience. We can see and feel its power. There are esoteric correspondences between the Sun and Tiphareth, the center Sephirah on the Kabbalistic tree of life, which is seen as a powerful connection to our higher self through the sacrifice of the living God. An early version of this card from what is referred to as the Budapest deck, believed to have been block printed in Italy around the year 1500, depicts a red-faced personification of the Sun emerging from a cloud and shining life-giving rays of heat and light upon a row of trees below. The Visconti-Sforza deck has a similar interpretation. However, in this version, a radiant red head is held up by a winged child, or Pudo. Around the neck of this Pudo, there is a thin, beaded necklace that some suggest may be a good luck charm. His right foot is stepping on what appears to be a dark cloud, but this cloud is thin and seems to only be passing by. Despite the surreal symbolism of a disembodied head, this is actually a positive celebration of life. In ancient times, severed heads of holy sacrificial victims or revered ancestors were worshipped as powerful oracles and mediators with the spirit world. The ancient concept of a living head with a tragic history that continued to sing or speak was a symbol of purity and martyrdom. In art, a disembodied head often represents the liberation of the ego. The Jacques Viville deck features the face of a sun shining down on a nude boy riding a horse. The boy carries a flag that represents victory, and he has been interpreted as the soul being liberated from the material world, or as the alchemical child, who represents the successful outcome of the alchemical process. Another version from the Marseille style tradition features a sun shining on a pair of figures. In the Jean Noblet, one is male and the other female. The opposite forces of the sun and the moon, or male and female, have now been paired. They stand by a low wall that some occultists have interpreted as enclosing the Garden of Eden. The sky is filled with what might be representations of evaporating dewdrops that the moon created. In other variations of this card, the female figure is depicted as another male, and some have suggested the twin boys may represent celestial brothers Castor and Pollux, or the mythical founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. However, the version of the Sun card created by Oswald Wirth returns to figures that are clearly male and female. The couple are tenderly entwined in the center of a circle of flowers, and Wirth says they represent the individual soul in harmony with the spirit, whose feelings are married to reason, but they can only find agreement within the shelter of a stonework enclosure. A fine rain of gold falls over the loving couple, and this is not material gold, but the gold of the philosopher. The greatest wealth is from the heart. The happiness they have cannot be taken away, for it is they who create it. The children of light have the power to transform the vile lead of base instincts into pure gold, both moral and intellectual. The Sun card created by Arthur Edward Waite and Pamela Colman Smith reverts back to the theme of a naked youth riding a horse. According to Waite, the walled garden behind the stone wall represents the material world, lit by the earthly sun, and the boy is riding away from the wall because he is making the transition into the spiritual. Waite thought that in order to transition into this liberated state, one must be pure and innocent, like a naked child, and so that is what Smith depicted. The child and horse represent one's transformed consciousness and animal nature, united in harmony. The Golden Dawn associated this card with the Hebrew letter Resh, which means head. The head is the top of the body and location of the crown chakra, which is thought of in meditation as having 1,000 lotus petals and the brightness of the sun. Aleister Crowley considered the Sun card from the Thoth deck that he created with the artistic help of Lady Frida Harris to be one of the simplest cards of the deck. He said it represented the Egyptian god Horus, who he saw as the lord of the new eon, and the embodiment of both vengeance, war, and destruction, as well as light, life, liberty, and love. The twin children are nude and have wings to represent the freedom of the soul, the red-winged male symbolic of fire, and the yellow-winged female symbolic of air. Their legs are crossed to remind us of the hanged man archetype. However, their arms are free, suggesting they have evolved and have been emancipated. They are reborn and dance on top of two discs that represent the old eon. They bask in the light of the powerful sun with 12 rays that are encircled by 12 signs of the zodiac. The theme of achieving a powerful and heightened spiritual state is further represented by a green mound of fertile earth aspiring to the heavens. However, at the top of this mound is a wall that, according to Crowley, indicates that the new eon, which frees the human race, does not represent an absence of control. This is a freedom that brings sanity by way of disciplined integration. And here's the depiction of the Sun card from the Allcento tarot. In this version, the sun radiates powerful rays of heat and light, sending out pure energy to all. Apollo, the Sun King, is seen playing a lyre with 7 strings that correspond with the 7 virtues. The harmonious vibrations of this instrument bestow inspiration for peace and goodwill. This divine music awakens our creative capabilities and empowers us to overcome the boundary between the conscious and subconscious, represented by the garden wall. Physical light is the instrument of thought, and we have the power to prevail over fear and illusion. A gate, decorated with an upwards pointing arrow, created from 9 lines, is wide open. And like a wild stallion, we can now escape our slavery to the material and become free artists, free builders, or Freemasons. The sun represents the absolute affirmation of life. Understanding and appreciating the divine sacrifice and the power of life is certainly something to be happy about. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. The sun is shining and I'm feeling good. And if you watched to the end of this video, post a sun emoji. Your comments truly brighten my day. Also, give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, you can find out more about me and the Allcento Tarot at my website, offbeatartwork.com. And until next time, brightest blessings on your spiritual journey.